So today, we are not here to decide whether he's guilty or innocent. That is not why we were here. What happened was in 2022, the previous state's attorney of Baltimore City, Ms. Mosby, she vacated Mr. Syed's conviction. And vacating that conviction, she pretty much wiped it away. In wiping away that conviction, the victim's family appealed. In 2024 of August, the Supreme Court of the state of Maryland said, no, you couldn't vacate it because the victim's family didn't have a say. So I was elected in 2023, and this hot potato fell in my lap. When it fell in my lap, what's the first thing you're going to do? The first thing you'll do anytime you get a case is what? Put your team together to figure out what you have. You got to look at the law. And to us, what's the law of vacating? What does that look like? Well, it's very simple. In the state of Maryland, it says here, the state's attorney receives new information after a conviction that calls into question the integrity of that conviction. So that's the first thing we had to do was look at the law. The next thing we had to do was sit there and look at, well, what did the vacation motion say? And this is what the previous administration wrote. The state located a document in the state's trial file which provided details about one of the suspects. A person provided information to the state that one of the suspects had a motive to kill the victim, Haymon Lee. That suspect had threatened to kill the victim in the presence of another individual. That suspect said that he would make Miss Lee disappear, he would kill her. So now, basically, this motion to vacate was saying there's a new individual who made these threats. That individual went by the name of Belial. So what's the first thing we have to do? We had to vacate a motion. We understand the law. So let's look at that evidence. Well, there was a note. And there was a note that's alleged to have been in the state's file that was never turned over. The first thing you do is what? You talk to the prosecutor who wrote the note. It's in the prosecutor's handwriting. However, we found out that the previous administration never talked to that prosecutor. And the note really says a couple things. Prior to the murder, Bilal Ahmed was upset with the woman who was creating so many problems for Adnan. He told her that he would make her disappear. He would kill her. So the previous administration didn't talk to that prosecutor. We did. So the word he referred to who? Adnan Syed. Didn't refer to Belial, according to the prosecutor. But that wasn't enough. So we began to really pour through the thousands upon thousands of pages of discovery, trial transcripts, and there was one piece of document that we found. And there was a report from July 7th, 2022. So there was this one, I call her the superstar witness of the motion to vacate. And this is the individual that allegedly had the conversation with Mr. Yerk that led to that note. So based on this must be the individual that this motion to vacate was all about. So the Syed review team spoke with this individual on July 7th, 2022, and they took some notes. She, meaning the individual they spoke to, relayed the following. And the writer of the notes that we found in the state's attorney's files said, I tried to write the exact words, but some sentences may be summaries. One of the things that was very important they talked about is she, meaning the author of this information, did not recall any threats against Haymon Lee. Also, they asked if she remembers anything else, please give me a call, meaning speaking to the person who actually gave this information. And she agreed to do that. Now, to me, you have that moment in prosecution that, wow, it couldn't be any plainer. One of the notes and the last sentence written by the Syed review team in the previous administration was that I am not currently of the impression that Belial made any threats in front of her regarding Haymon Lee. And that is super important. And why? Remember, the motion to vacate stated they had information about a note that wasn't turned over that named Belial to be the suspect. We found that note. We knew that we had to do what? We had to do the right thing.